Someone like Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler is going to be on the course. In Petrie, you've got the basketball sort of centre, so you're going to have the dream team there. I mean, that's pretty crazy. You think they're coming over to Brisbane, so obviously that's really going to put Brisbane on the world map.
What areas do you think are going to benefit most from this Olympic hype?
If we just kind of come back, like we're talking about Sydney and some of the images from back then in Brisbane, it's quite exciting as a Brisbaneite 2032 to think, say, someone like Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler is going to be on the course. In Petrie, you've got the basketball sort of centre, so you're going to have the dream team there. I mean, that's pretty crazy. You think they're coming over to Brisbane, so obviously that's really going to put Brisbane on the world map. But if we kind of break down a few suburbs that stand to benefit, and we talked about some infrastructure sort of projects like the Cross River Rail, the Olympic Stadium. So if we break this down into two sort of asset types, like houses and units. So if I think about kind of like the stadium and just there and thereabouts, so those kind of suburbs that are quite close in proximity to Victoria Park, you've got the likes of Kelvin Grove, you know, apartments there, maybe boutique type blocks or whatever, like in close proximity. I think they're going to do very well. Maybe if we look a little bit further out, Newmarket and Alderley, again, very undervalued from a unit point of view. Houses in those areas are very, very expensive now. So you've got a pretty good disparity between unit prices and house prices. So I think they'll tend to do quite well. If we look where the Olympic Village is going to be, it's going to be Bowen Hills. Bowen Hills slightly north of the CBD. There's quite a few high rises there. Obviously, house prices, there's much more units in that suburb than sort of houses, but I do think there'll be an uptick there. From an investor point of view, I'd still be looking again at boutique blocks, you know, not to sound like a broken record, I always talk about this. So I think that's a decent area that's going to do quite well.